My MVP pick is and I think is due for by far the best season of his career. Who is everybody's 2023 NFL MVP?
Ortiz, get it started, bro.
My MVP is going to be Jalen Hurts. I have versatility is very big thing with me. I've always been pushing versatility when it comes to elite players in the NFL. And Jalen Hurts is the best of both worlds as a quarterback, especially with this Eagles team. A defense who some people have said has regressed a bit, but still going to be a top 10 at floor, a top 10 defense in the NFL. And Jalen Hurts didn't play a lot of fourth quarters in last season simply because they were beating the shit out of teams, to put it quite frankly. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to come in with a chip on his shoulder because we know he steps up when the lights are at the brightest. We've seen throughout the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jalen Hurts is he's one of the top 3 MVP candidates right now. So, Do you wanna go? Is this gonna be another homer pick right now, or?
No, my real pick to win MVP is gonna be Josh Allen. As much as it pains me to say, actually, I don't have much problem with the Bills. I kind of just hate the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Bills, I kind of like actually. As weird as it is to say, their roster's great. And I think I mentioned it last time we spoke about the Bills. There's no pressure this year. I mean, there is expectations, but not as high as it's been as soon as last year.
They're not the favorites.
They're not the favorites. He can come into the season. Siri, you don't want to hear me talk about this. Anyway, yeah, no, I think it's a perfect opportunity for Josh Allen to really come through and build into this player that he's been building up into the last few years. He's going to be the best quarterback in the league this year.
Chris, who you got?
So my pick for MVP, a lot like your offensive player of the year pick, Dean, because it's the same guy. My MVP is Lamar Jackson.
I like it.
I mean, you pretty much said everything there is to say about Lamar Jackson, but he got paid this offseason, so he's secure with his financial situation. He also had such a big financial situation and dispute that this is, like you said, this is a prove-it year for Lamar. He wants to prove to everybody that he was worth the money he got. Also, like you said, Dean, the weapons are improved and arguably the best of Lamar's career. You draft a guy like Zay Flowers. You bring in a veteran like Odell Beckham. You have a healthy Rashad Bateman. You have a healthy Mark Andrews. You even, brought in some depth with a guy like Nelson Aguilar, who's okay as your fourth receiver. Like, it's not a bad option. And then you bring in Todd Monken, who was OCing at Georgia, who led very, firepower-led attacks through the air. So we're all going to expect Lamar to throw the ball more. And an interesting stat I pointed out about Lamar was he's, I think we've all been pushing this, that Lamar has improved as a passer as the years have gone on. We just haven't really been able to fully see it on display because his seasons have been ending short due to injury. But in the short sample size since his MVP, Lamar has improved as a passer. And last year before he got hurt, he had a 5% big-time throw rate, which was the highest of his career. And what a big-time throw is, according to PFF, is a pass with excellent ball location and timing, generally thrown further down the field and or into a tighter window. So the highest percent of his career was with big-time throws. So I expect that to continue with the added weapons. And we know what Lamar could do on the ground. That's honestly just a bonus at this point. But I expect him to easily have the best passing year of his career. And I expect the Ravens to be a great team.
100% in agreement. I did not pick Lamar Jackson because last week on our hot takes video, I said a certain hot take, and I picked a certain guy to win the MVP. And I'm 100% backing that today. My MVP pick is Justin Herbert. And I think Justin Herbert is due for by far the best season of his career and due for the best statistical season in the entirety of the NFL this season. So I have a million notes about Justin Herbert because there were so many, 3 pages worth about Justin Herbert alone. I won't get into all of that, but
No, please do.
so
The floor is yours.
so there is a whole lot working in Justin Herbert's favor. So last season, obviously, a whole bunch of injuries caused Austin Eckler to be the primary target. His yards per attempt dropped, plummeted. His touchdown percentage plummeted. And all of these players that they worked to add this season and all the players that are going to be healthy this coming season, we talk about a guy that they just added in the first round of the NFL draft in Quentin Johnston. We obviously get back a top 10 pass blocking offensive line when everyone is healthy, and that is backed by PFF. So, Rashawn Slater, elite left tackle, one of the best in the entire league, missed almost the entirety of last season. He's now back. You have fortified most of the positions on the interior of the offensive line. You've gotten depth. They're now healthy. Zion Johnson, one of them. Cody Whitehair, another. The right side of the line is a place that we want to talk about being a weakness, but it's not, especially when you go back and you look all the stats and all the pressure numbers back, that the fact that the right side of the offensive line for the Chargers is better than people think. Okay, so to give you guys an idea of just how bad it was for Justin Herbert last year, he had a 3.5 touchdown percentage. 3.5. The NFL average is 4. Justin Herbert's first 2 seasons, he was at 5.2 and 5.7. So, if we took his touchdown percentage from his 2 previous seasons and took about a 5.5 touchdown percentage, you prorate that over the 699 attempts that he had last season, and you're at 44 touchdowns. 44. Now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Justin Herbert can have an even higher touchdown percentage, one of the top in the league. And the top in the league last year was Brock Purdy, and it was a ridiculous number because he didn't play the entirety of the season. But the next highest was Patrick Mahomes, who, guess what, won the MVP. And that was around a 6% number, close to that. And if he had Patrick Mahomes' number, he'd be throwing 49 touchdowns. And I think it's even entirely possible that Justin Herbert has even more than that. Another stat, Justin Herbert had 0 rushing touchdowns last season, not 1. He played with a torn labrum in his left shoulder and broken rib cartilage for the entirety of the season almost. So, crazy enough, Justin Herbert's rushing production will now improve as well. So, this is a team that when you go back, you obviously need success for the MVP race. I think this is a team that if they stay healthy, on average, MVPs win around 12 to 13 games. I think it's entirely in the realm of possibility that they win 12 to 13 games this season. So, I think Justin Herbert is the guy. I think all of his numbers will improve. And even with all of that being said, he still had the most money throws in the entirety of the NFL and the highest completion percentage on pressured throws in the entire NFL. With all of those factors, with all those injuries, Justin Herbert's the guy. He's not just the social media quarterback. So, there's my Justin Herbert rant.
I love it.
Nice, man.
That was a lot of breathing.
All right, Ortiz, who do you have as your dark horse?
Sorry about that, guys. That was long.
My dark horse is
Damn, I feel like we should have done our dark horses first for this.
Yeah, because it's just not going to hit the same, though.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's all right.
Oh, my dark horse is Tua Tagovailoa. Very interesting name. That I was looking through the odds.
Did you just say that?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Say tongue?
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, it's actually how it's pronounced, I'm pretty sure.
It's not Tagovailoa?
It's like Tagovailoa. It's Tagovailoa.
Mm.
So
No, I was just wondering.
I mean, I
Keep
personally
going.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
fine.
how
Not
I always said
important.
it.
Yeah.
He could be the leader in the most explosive offense we could have ever seen with speed like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. It's just simply put, all things pointing the right way with his health and everything, obviously. Because when he plays, he's a floor top 8 QB in the NFL, I'd say. When 100% healthy with his receivers, with his running backs healthy. I just think the Dolphins could be really good, and they could be a really scary team to face in playoffs.
he's definitely the dark horse.
Definitely
One of them.
dark, yeah.
One of them.
One
Dean,
of
who you
them.
got? It's going to be the homer, ain't it?
This is the
Well,
homer
wait.
pick.
I also have Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tua is my guy. Like I said, second year in that Mike McDaniel system, you expect it to simplify for him a little bit. The offense was elite last year. He was second in the NFL in EPA per play last year. He was third in air yards on a filter of quarterbacks who I'm pretty sure played over 250 snaps, third in air yards per pass attempt, and he was behind Mitchell Trubisky and Marcus Mariota. So he was essentially first. Essentially first. So, you know, the knock on Tua is he didn't throw it deep. I saw a guy throwing it deep for the majority of last
Quite
season
often.
before the, you know, injury stuff. And obviously you want to discredit Tua because of the weapons he has. He can't change the weapons he has. Any quarterback who has those guys is going to throw them the ball, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage, whether
They're
it's
going
deep.
to do it well.
Yeah. So
He takes advantage of what he has, as he should.
as he should, as
As
the
he
offense
should.
should be designed for him to do
Agreed.
with any offense who has receivers
And he's
like
accurate.
that.
He's accurate, which you need to be. So
Right, and I think a big thing for the Dolphins this year is having a guy like Braxton Berrios, honestly, as your third receiver. Having Braxton Berrios and having Robbie Anderson, because what the Dolphins...
chosen.
Robbie Anderson, didn't he get cut?
He did. I think he did
From
get
the
cut,
Dolphins?
actually.
He got
I think
cut.
he
Like
did actually
today?
get cut.
Nah, like
Like
a few days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago,
No.
I think. Chosen
Yeah.
got cut. Yeah.
Got
No
cut.
way.
Chosen got cut, bro.
Damn, I must have missed that. But anyway, Braxton Berrios in there to kind of be the third receiver. Braxton Berrios is a true slot guy. He's nothing special, but he's a guy who could at least, you know, win in the middle of the field. And that's what the Dolphins kind of struggled with last year when obviously Hill and Waddle could line up in the slot. But when they were lining up wide and teams were playing man coverage and pressing them, they kind of struggled because Tua likes to throw it in the middle of the field. So you need a third guy to be able to win in the middle of the field. So I think Braxton Berrios will be a key component to this offense, which will only help Tua. He's a good player.
Mike Gesicki would have been perfect if only they had used them. But go ahead, Dean.
So I had this as my hot take for one of my hot takes. I have Aaron Rodgers as my dark horse guy, and I don't think it's that crazy. I had it as a hot take, but I really shouldn't have even put it as a hot take. It's not that hot. So my big reasoning for that, bless you. My
Bless
big
you.
reasoning for that was, I know we saw a bit of a decline from Aaron Rodgers last year, but I think that had more to do with the system and the weapons around him, and he wasn't motivated. I think everything that happened last season were a bunch of things that went wrong for him. I think coming back into a Nathaniel Hackett system that he knows, that he was successful in,
One
that
MVP twice.
his last 2 seasons with Nathaniel Hackett, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, 37 touchdowns, 5 picks, 4 picks in those seasons respectively. So I think he comes into this season gaining back a true number one receiver, because his number one receiver last year was Alan Lazard going
Christian
in.
Watson. Yeah.
Christian Watson didn't really show up till
Like weeks 5, 6.
like
week 5,
halfway
6, yeah.
through the season. So Aaron Rodgers didn't, and he was a rookie. You know what I mean? He didn't have much to work with in Green Bay, but coming in with the Jets, you get Garrett Wilson, you get your number one guy. You have those schemes that you had set up for Devontae Adams, and you can apply them to Garrett Wilson. You can apply them to the New York Jets, and I think that energy and motivation have a lot to do with what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets this season. I think that you see a revitalized person. I really do think that. I think the attitude of Aaron Rodgers has completely changed. The narrative of who he is on and off the field has completely changed. Everyone saw him as not that much of a team guy, wasn't showing up to OTAs, wasn't playing preseason games. Now he's completely down to be doing all that with the team, doing this, doing that, talking to reporters, being friendly. Things that we hadn't seen from Aaron Rodgers since in the last 10 years. So I think that has a lot to do with his success. That's going to happen this season. I think Aaron Rodgers will be successful this season with the Jets.
How many passing touchdowns do you think, bro? I'm going to put you on the spot.
He's going over 32.
Okay.
32. I think that's a really fair number. He hit 26 last year. He also had 12 picks. I think he's keeping it under 10 picks this year.
Okay. Got it. All right, my dark horse MVP. Going to be a little outlandish. I kind of made a checklist for MVP so that like I can make sure when I went through these guys that I looked at the last 10 years and I was like, all right, what do all these MVPs have in common? So you have to have a massive statistical season. That's obvious. We all know that. You need to have a narrative-based MVP. So going into the season, there needs to be some buzz around your name.
Like
obviously.
Tua.
like Tua. Yeah. So you have to have a narrative-based season as well. That matters. After that, you need a divisional win. All 10 of the last 10 MVPs have all won their division, obviously.
Like
and then at
Tua.
bare minimum, you need to win 12 games. Bare minimum, 12 games.
That's
all
what,
four of
that's
those.
what every MVP has had.
Every MVP over the last 10 seasons, yes, have had 12 wins pretty much, except for I think one of them who went 11-5. So I could have picked Trevor Lawrence. That was a guy that I've been, gassing up forever. Picked the guy that they wrote off. They wrote him off, but he didn't write back. He won Comeback Player of the Year last year, and this is my dark horse MVP pick. It is Geno Smith. It is Geno Smith. That is my dark horse MVP.
no.
You know why? Because he's going to check all these damn boxes this coming season. He is going to have close to, if not more than 40 touchdowns. They just added JSN. They have a young offensive line that is only improving, so he's going to have statistical production. You have 3 receivers that, as Chris said, on a certain episode, the 3 receivers are going to have 1,000 yards this season. Who throws them the damn ball? It is Geno Smith. He throws them the damn ball. And not only that, DK Metcalf is going to lead the league in touchdowns. And who throws that guy the damn ball? It is Geno Smith.
So I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I
it's okay.
really am. I know you're so excited about that.
I'm so happy about this one.
I just don't see it happening again.
That's why it's called a dark horse. Whoa. You think it was a fluke?
I think last season was yes, I think it was a fluke.
Okay.
I do think it was a fluke.
Let me throw
Do I
some
think
numbers.
he comes in the season and is bad? No, I think he's going to be a good quarterback. But do I think he's going to put up the production or numbers even close to what he did last season? No, I don't at all, actually.
Okay.
I agree with you too. Geno was my next guy up.
So if you
I'm
don't
not
believe,
hating. I'm just not a believer like you are.
that's fine. But I'll make you believe, Dean. I'm going to make you believe right now because there are so many statistics that will back the argument. And here you go. Ready?
You could throw around stats all you want.
No. Because he was top 5 in almost every passing category last season in terms of accuracy.
I understand last season he was great. That's what I'm saying. I know he was great.
But
How
these
many
are
guys have
sustainable
seasons
things.
like that and don't carry it into the next season? Seasons like that.
Especially a quarterback.
I just don't see him getting better at the age of what?
He doesn't have to get. He
32,
doesn't necessarily have to get
33.
better. He just has to be more efficient. That's all it takes. It takes a couple of DK Metcalf red zone throws going into the end zone. It takes JSN beating a guy instead of having to only rely on DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Now you have a third guy that was the best college football receiver just 2 years ago, in case we forget. So now we're talking about a 3-headed monster to where you rely on 3 guys who could potentially be a number 1 on multiple other teams now. So I'm not saying it's just Geno. I'm saying it's Geno plus 3 receivers who could be in the top 20 after
Plus
this coming
an O-line.
season. Plus a good offensive line, all that stuff. And it's not just the fact that these someone has to get them the ball. And Geno isn't a slouch, man. Last season he was top 5 in almost every completion percentage metric. He in deep balls, on pressured throws, play actions, and clean pockets. He was top 5 in the league on every single one of those and top 3 in most of them. So I think that Geno, obviously, yes, got all the credit in the world for the comeback player of the year, but I think even at 32, is another level that he can reach. I really do. I think the statistical production is going to be there. I think the division's wide open. Nick Bosa is currently holding out for a contract. So the San Francisco 49ers, that defense, when he's not there, is not good. It's not pretty. So you're talking about a team that could lose the first couple games of the season because you don't have Nick Bosa. So any sort of slippage from any of these teams in that division, Seattle's right there. This is a Super Bowl caliber roster from top to bottom. No questions asked. He was on it before anyone else. I looked it over. I thought about it, watched some Geno Smith tape, and I was like, yeah, I was wrong. They're legit. I'm like, they are all the way legit. This team is quite possibly going to win the division. And I mean, look, keep an eye out for the episode that's coming up next, probably in a couple days from now, or tomorrow by the time you're watching this. We're going to go over all of our stuff. We're going to think about things, and then we're going to come back with any changes that we've made to our divisional leaders, any of the top teams that we think are going to be in the league, and we'll talk about all that
We'll
stuff
just go through our final
on a future
standings.
episode. We're gonna go through all of our final
And our
standings for the
Super- and
NFL
our Super
season,
Bowl picks.
our playoff picks and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that one. I've definitely changed my mind on some of these teams for sure. So yeah, Gino deserves it, man. Gino's gonna be up there. I'm telling you right now, Gino's gonna be up there for that MVP race.